called Black Gratitude. Black Gratitude. Black Gratitude.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Swiss Foreign. This is our first podcast. Me and
Akua Blue here. Yes.
we both are
in the
artists.
building.
Yeah.
Yes. If you like our real name, well, I'm pretty sure you would know it if you know us personally.
Right.
But
absolutely.
today we decided this is our first podcast, our first official speaking on terms thing. We're going to get into some really deep shit.
Deep, real life.
Right, real life. And the concept today is negativity. But first off, let's start off with the title. Our title is called Black Gratitude. If you don't know what that means we're giving gratitude to being who we are as Black women, Black men, in our community to bring us together.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
It's something that we take pride in, and we want we want people to be able to click a button and get a appreciate life, to hear us speak positivity into y'all life, to make y'all understand, let y'all understand that being Black is a great thing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So what are we going to talk about today, Amir? We're going to talk about negativity. What does that even mean? What does negativity
I mean,
mean?
it depends on if you want to take it to a noun or adjective. Let's take it to the adjective first, which means expressing or containing negation or denial. So expressing or containing negation or denial. Where do we fit in? Where do negative in our life fit in where we expression or containing negation or denial?
Man, that's an everyday life.
Yeah.
Negativity is everywhere you go. It's in people. It's in animals. It's in your home. It's in your community. It's on the freeway. It's anywhere you go. It doesn't matter if you're walking, you're jogging. Something negative's coming to you in your mind, even in your heart.
That is true. And I want to touch on the poison to medicine. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of that, but that's something that we learned practicing Buddhism. We are young Black women that are Buddhists, practitioners of Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that we learned, and I feel like that's something everybody should have in their life, is to know how to turn their poison into medicine, because one thing we all have in common is we all have poison. And we need to learn how to use it for the better.
Yes.
We can't look at it as if it's something bad. Let's just say it's uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So let's take, the uncomfortable feeling or problem that we have and turn it into medicine that can help us move forward or learn from it. Because 9 times out of 10, people fall off or create situations in their life because of the negative things that happen. So let's learn how to take the negative and use it for the positive. I mean, it can happen.
Boom. Black gratitude.
Absolutely.
Flat out. Negativity is a part of our growing process.
Absolutely. You can't have one without the other.
Exactly.
No. Can't have negative without positive.
Exactly.
So
to understand negativity, you have to be humanistic. You have to be spiritual. And so, like we said earlier, we're Buddhists. We're practitioners of Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism. And we're going to talk about a lot of concepts that have to do with that. But it's a spiritual thing. There's no God. There's no higher being. It's just us. Self-improvement. It's like a tree. You have to water.
Well, we all are gods.
Yes, we're all gods.
We're all one. We're all a part of everything. So, let's not get the misunderstanding that we feel like that. Well, me personally, I feel like we all are gods. We all are one. We all are atoms. We all are a part of the earth. We are Mother Earth. I feel like we all are a part, and we all can become whatever it is we dream of, because It's a part. It's in us.
Reaching enlightenment.
Absolutely.
Enlightenment is being your higher self, your best
Absolutely.
self.
Absolutely.
And every day, that's the hardest thing for being a human, a Black human. African American is this society that we are in. We have the pressure of being something that we're not, or being something that somebody else is trying to mold us to be.
Agreement.
The agreement, yes.
And I read a book called The Four Agreements. My mother-in-law put me up on this book. But what it's saying is that when we accept what other people, when we accept the way life is, that means we coming into agreement with, okay, we agree that, we're black. We agree that, the word nigga. We agree. We don't have to agree to that. We can lose our understanding of anything negative and create new. Mm-hmm. So it's about the seeds that you plant in your mind. It's like feeding your mind. It's like feeding your body, food. It's like what you read is what you become. So I feel like, and we're going to touch on all these subjects that we're talking about on later podcasts, but I feel like we all been programmed since we were young, mm-hmm. To this Americanized life of, wake up in the morning at this time. You go to school at this time. Yep. Your children drink this type of milk. Oh, you can't get a baby this. You can't. We all have been programmed to what the American society want us to be, mm-hmm. and teaching us how to already become slaves to the government and to working, and not being ourselves and waking up doing what we feel. Especially, we got to wear clothes, shoes, mm-hmm. and all,
Especially the stuff we eat.
Absolutely. We're going to touch on that, too.
That's a whole
the food, thing. You are what you eat. Do y'all understand that?
Definitely.
They will feed you from your mind to your belly and have you programmed.
And it's a damn shame.
It is. That we are so ignorant, and that's a key word for us, and we want to make sure that we touch on that word all the time, because ignorance will get you, I'm not going to cuss, will get you flipped up for real and flipped down for real. So you have to have knowledge about the food you eating and the food you putting in your mind. Mm-hmm. Like, we're in a time of our life where we are becoming enlightened by the things that we knew in our soul wasn't right. Exactly. Even though we've been programmed, it was something in us telling us this ain't right. Even we're going to touch on the church too, because I was a Christian, and it's a lot of things that I learned, but I always felt like it was more. And I felt like it was too programmed too. The truth is something that not what you believe.
Exactly.
Always remember that. So we're just touching on how we feel, period. Day to day, the things that, I feel like mostly everybody think about and talk about with everybody, well, if they're able to have people to convey these messages with, then you blessed.
And that's why we started this podcast, because we want to talk about the real things. We want to talk about what nobody else wants to talk about.
Absolutely.
We're going to touch on subjects that nobody wants to touch on, because,
they're programmed.
They're programmed. Or not even just that, just people get, there are Nazis out there, there are narcissists out there. They have their own opinions. Absolutely. And everything. And we do too. But this is a common ground here. We all have lots of things to talk about and share. We, especially, like I said, the topic today is negativity.
Absolutely.
So, let's talk about ourselves, so you can understand where we're coming from.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm Cool Blue.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? They call me Blue.
Yeah.
And I do music. I go to school at Henry Ford College. I do recording arts and music. I play the piano. I play a weird instrument called a euphonium. You can look it up later. I used to play trumpet, and how I even started music, well, there was always music in my household. And then throughout life, I've been through so many challenges, not with just in music, but just being myself and the person I am. I didn't fit in any spectrum. I couldn't even fit in an all diverse school, because I was just so different from the norm. And one thing that makes me different is that I practice Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism. And a lot of people, worship a God or go to Catholic church or don't believe in anything. But I was born in a spiritually inclined household. And I'm pretty much the only sibling out of my other 3 siblings that practice this wonderful practice. And how can I say it? I developed into a wonderful human being, but I still have my issues and, obstacles that I have to face throughout day-to-day life.
Absolutely.
You know, nowadays people see me and they tell me, you know, you have the star quality of you. You have a good head on your shoulders. And most of the time, I don't feel that way. Most of the time, I feel like I'm messing up a lot of shit. Most of the time, I feel like my finances are not together. And trust me, my finances are not together. They're not. I'm 23 years old. I'm broke. I'm still living with my parents. I'm still in school, and I'm still trying to get it together. I got to rely on my family, my boyfriend, and my friends to help me do anything. I got to rely on a lot of people. But one thing I can give gratitude to all of this is because without all the support I have, without the practice, without the negativity, not having my shit together, I wouldn't be in the spot that I am in today. And that's the hardest thing to do as a human individual. The negative stuff. If y'all hear a baby in the background, we got...
That's mine. Hey, I'm trying to get it on being a mother of a trucker. I mean, being married to a trucker, being a mother with 3 kids, 7, 22 months, 9 months.
Oh, gosh.
I'm an artist, you know, currently in a situation that I'm trying to get out of right now to better my living situation for me and my kids. But were you finished? Cool, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I
Take
just
the
wanted
wheel.
to introduce y'all to Amir. That's my name, and I'm an artist, rapper, poetry. I love to create. How about that? And I've always been artistic when it came to creation. So I'm now a mother of 3. This just happened.
Boom,
like
boom,
boom,
pow.
boom, boom.
Boom,
You know,
boom, pow.
back one after another. But I love it, and I'm thankful for this experience. But before them, I was me, and me was an artist. I was an entertainer. I used to strip in Detroit. They know me. Hey, money. It used to be me, but you know that was the fun times when it was fun. But I also did music with different artists from Detroit. Dated some different people. I ain't gonna say so many. But I ended up finding my husband 5 years ago. Wanted to change my life. Had 2 boys and a girl. I'm a breastfed parent. I breastfeed all my kids, so my body is giving life to 3 people as we speak. And
all the changes.
I want to take her. Can you take her while we in the middle of our podcast, please? You just sitting there with her. You on spring break? I understand that, but be helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So.
Maybe I should give him.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
But I just want the world to know and to feel my experience, because we all are here to make a difference and have a purpose. And these last 5 years that I've been married and having kids and experiencing life, I have went through so much that I'm pretty sure the rest of the world, I hear it going on every day, has been through anxiety, conquered it on my own, depression, conquered that on my own, just mental. You know, one thing that I've noticed just now paying attention to my inner and not just always the outer, that we have to feed the inner or we will not know it when it's time, when it's telling you something. If your inner spiritual, whatever you want to call it, that inner voice, that self, that place where no one else can feel or speak into, when you don't understand that, that means that you haven't been feeding it, and that you have to go inside yourself and be alone. A lot of people don't like being alone, but once you conquer being by yourself, then you have mastered life. Because that's the hardest thing to do, to be alone, stand alone, understand yourself, get to know yourself. So I feel like that's a time that I'm in right now. I've done so much stuff, traveled all over the country. I've done, everything I've wanted to do. And I'm back here at this spot, which is a new beginning for me. And it's teaching me about self. So I just want y'all to be a part of that. So we're introducing ourselves, our practice, our past, our future, our present to your life. And we're open for questions or knowledge to be passed back on to us from what you hear us speaking about, because we're very big on knowledge, reading. Some of our my favorite authors is James Allen. We're just in a time of our life that we're trying to take all the negativity that's going on, because it starts with our president that represents our country, down to the schools, our children, just so much going on, and nobody is giving encouragement for the negativity, because even though it's negative, we have to find the positive out of that and make it awareness.
Of course.
So just to give you a little, insight about me, they call me Swiss Foreign because I'm crazy on the mic.
She rocks the mic. She rocks the mic.
We're here to encourage. We will have a daily encouragement. We will have a word of the day that we gonna learn every day, because we teaching at the same time we learn.
We gonna be researching certain things together.
Absolutely.
Because that's another thing. People, they record not even podcasts, but videos, and on YouTube, or their little slideshows, anything that has to deal with presentation. Ooh. Say hi, Asha. Say hi, Asha Basha.
Say hi.
I'm auntie. That's how it be. But yeah, so people do their own presentations, and they don't talk about how hard they had to research and look deeper to come up with the answers.
Absolutely.
To come up with these questions,
right.
The conclusion of whatever they're talking about.
Absolutely.
And so we just want to be real and really sit here and look through a book, look through the notes, look through the deeper aspects together, because that's what we have to do.
And inspire. When you hear this podcast, inspire. You are great. You are tolerant. You are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You are great. You are tolerant. You are courageous.
You can do whatever you put your mind to, as long as you don't give up on yourself.
Absolutely. And I feel like we hear all this other stuff through our ears daily. The news, especially the news. Oh my God.
So much
killing here, this and that. We need an equal amount of negative and positive in our mind.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because
balance.
we are absolutely
balance.
And this is to let you guys know, when you're feeling down, you could throw on this podcast. We'll have specials on just, illuminating ourselves, just empowering ourselves,
Exactly. And
daily.
And then it's the topic on back to negativity. I could share something I'm going through right now. Like I said, financial issues has always been a problem of mine, and it's mostly because I take on too many activities at once. I do too much. I'm in this, I'm in that, I'm in this activity, and then my schedule gets crammed to the point where I can't even have a stable job to accumulate some funds. And then I have to rely on my friend. I have to rely on my mom. I have to rely on my dad, my sister, my brother. I have to rely on all these people. And yet they don't mind it, but I do, because I feel like I don't have enough independence to do the things that I want to do for myself.
And I totally understand her, but I tell her all the time, enjoy and learn how to appreciate. Well, she appreciates it, but, she independent. So she don't know how not to be independent, because she's spending most of her time creating and allowing herself to attain the knowledge that she needs to be who she want to be. You know what I'm saying? But I try to tell her, coming from an older sister perspective, because I'm in my 30s and she's in her 20s, that we wish we had parents and sisters and brothers like you got. If your only sadness will be you don't want to ask, that's a good sadness. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that you don't get it or you can't get it. It's like, I don't want to ask because I want to do it for myself. But we call her the perfectionist because everything she do it at her best. And that's what you should do. at your best. Anything that you do it at your best, period. I don't care if it's washing the dishes or if it's changing a diaper,
Right.
feeding your kids. Do it at your best. And then you won't have self to blame when you fall short. Because then you would know, I did my best.
And that's the hardest thing to do in your mind, is to say, I did my best.
Absolutely.
Because, like she said, I am a perfectionist. I try to do my best every time. And sometimes I think my best is not good enough. And that's the negative aspect of me. But I learned to embrace that with myself, because I realize that is my disadvantage, but it also is my advantage. Because if I work, at a certain pace, at a certain way, I have that reputation. Like my sister said, she knows that I do my best in everything I do. Yeah. And that's a good impression.
Yeah.
And it is also, a danger to me, because I'm tearing myself down 24/7. And I'm saying negative things to myself. Like, if we talk to people how we talk to ourselves in our mind, do you know how disrespectful we would come off? Like, right. We would sound like we just basically saying fuck you to the world.
Right.
And that's not what I want to do. I don't want to say fuck you to the world, so I shouldn't say fuck you to myself, flat out. I should be kinder to myself. If anything, I should develop myself in a way like, okay, Naima, you have this negative thought. You wish you could practice more, right? Either you practice or you don't. And if you don't even be mad. Don't even beat yourself up about it, because you have 10 million other things you got going on for you right now.
Absolutely.
And that's what I have to do. I have to sit back and I have to analyze myself 24/7. Why am I feeling this certain way? Because I wish it was this way. Well, it ain't that way, is it? Black gratitude.
Absolutely.
Boom. I'm grateful for that negative aspect. I am thankful for that side of me that really, really, really just be bringing me down. Because if it wasn't for that side, I wouldn't, I wouldn't even be the person I am.
Mentally stable.
Right.
We all stable. Would be. We all need something to keep us aligned to be stable. Mm-hmm. And that, to even go piggyback off what she's saying, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't have to work. I take care of the kids all day. And you would think that I would be happy every day that I don't have to do nothing but get up and take care of kids. Shoot, when I say waking up and taking care of 3 kids, that's like having 3 jobs. Mm-hmm. But I learned how to take the good out of everything and not to take it personal. Don't take nothing personal, because then there go your feelings getting involved, and there go disappointment. But if you don't get your feelings involved on acts of life, how can you be disappointed? Take it and correct it, or do whatever it is you got to do. Don't take it personal. And that's my phrase. Don't take it personal.
Exactly.
Period. Because it's either an opinion, a thought, you can't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? And don't assume. Assumption make holes. So by me saying that is that being a stay-at-home mom, day to day, I go through my struggles. I want to share it with you guys. Encourage you stay-at-home moms, even you working moms, because it's a job. Even though it's our kids, it still has a format and has to have a schedule to be done at a certain time every day. Because if you take your kids to the daycare, that's a job for them. So just imagine. See, she won't even let me finish my podcast. She's in control. Right. Ain't that something when you got a 9-month-old, almost 10 months controlling your every move, your thoughts and everything? But I wanted to share the word of the day. It's transcend. TRANCEND. Transcend. Ooh. Be or go beyond the range or limit.
Transcend.
Transcending. That is what we are doing every day. So take that word, use it, and speak it in your life. Transcend.
Be or
go beyond the range or limit. Transcend. That sounds so good. It sounds good coming off. You have to speak, because your words can be power, or it can be poison. You can put a spell on yourself by speaking something negative. Always speak what you want, not what you don't want. Mama, you tell us that. Do. Exactly.
Right. My mom is saying so many things.
Yes.
If you don't know Ms. Barker, you don't know knowledge. Right. You don't know life.
Absolutely.
Because she be saying all types of things. And, sometimes it may catch you off guard, like, well, damn, where you coming from?
Absolutely.
But then when you go through it, you be like, wow, I'm really glad she told me that.
Absolutely.
Because one of the things she always say, and we love this phrase, feel the fear
and
do it anyway.
Okay.
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
That will get you a long way. I promise you. Anytime I'm feeling down, because fear is we gonna touch on fear too, y'all. Because that one right there, that's an enemy. That's the only enemy we have. Because that's the only thing that can stop us. And then it's a fight within. But we're not going to get too deep on any one subject today but negativity. And we just touching on the things that we think about daily. But feel the fear and do it anyway.
And that has a lot to do with negativity. Because sometimes we don't want to face our problems.
No, we don't.
We don't want to face the fear.
No.
We don't want to face the negative ever. We want to avoid it because we think life is supposed to be easy. Yeah. Life ain't easy. No. It was never. We were not put on this earth to have an easy life. And within this Buddhist practice, it really teaches you that if you just taking it easy 24/7, you don't know struggle.
No.
And without struggle, you don't know happiness.
Mm-mm.
Because you can't, like Amir said, you can't have one without the other.
You can't.
You just can't. And sometimes I feel that way. Like, I've been so down before that I'm just like, why am I going through this? I do not like going through this. I do not want to face this problem because I wish I didn't have it. But boom, Black gratitude. I need to be grateful for this problem because this is going to help me develop the future. Absolutely. This is going to help me develop all the things I ever wanted.
Pressure make diamonds, and that's saying, ooh, it's so true.
You're a diamond in the rough.
Baby, shining.
We're shining.
We the sunshine of the household.
Right, exactly. Sunshine of the household.
Yes, absolutely.
Being human is the hardest thing ever because we have human qualities.
Absolutely.
Being negative, being greedy, animality, going through the stages of the 10 worlds.
Absolutely.
Your lower worlds, we'll get into that in another podcast.
Right.
Your lower worlds come out. Your fundamental darkness is showing. It's showing. It's really showing.
Okay.
Your fundamental darkness is your negatives, the things that you struggle on, the things that make you angry, the things that make you cry, the things that make you feel the disasters of life. But without those disasters, without the miserable things that happen to you, you wouldn't be the person you are today. If you're going through something right now, there's a reason you're going through it.
Right.
There's a reason. And you may not see it because it's taking forever. It seems like it's taking forever, like a lifetime for you to get out. But just know, if you have faith in whatever you're trying to accomplish, nothing will stop you.
Absolutely.
Nothing.
And before we end the podcast, I just want to share what I read every day. James Allen, this is the book of meditations for every day in the year. And today is April 6th, right? Or is it today April 6th? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so what he says is Buddha always, this is your meditation for every day in the year by James Allen. Buddha always referred to the moral law of the universe as the good law. And indeed, it is not rightly perceived if it is thought of as anything but good. For in it, there can be no grain of evil, no element of unkindness. It is no iron-hearted monster crushing the weak and destroying the ignorant, but a soothing love and broadening compassion, shielding the tenderest from harm and protecting the strongest from a too destructive use of their strength. It destroys all evil. It preserves all good. It enfolds the tiniest seedling in its care, and it destroys the most colossal wrong with a breath. To perceive it is the beautiful vision. To know it is the beautiful bliss. And they who perceive and know it are at peace. They are glad forevermore. And it says, seers of the cosmos do not mourn over the scheme of things. The wise man bends his will and subject his desire to the divine order. Meditate on that.
I sure will. And then I will be reading today's daily encouragement. This is on the SGI website. SGI is our Buddhist organization. If you ever want to check it out, just put in sgi.org. So today's daily encouragement is, There is no retirement age in faith. Sincere faith never ages. Those who exert themselves for the sake of the law are ever young. Our heart is what matters most. Let us strive to end of our days for Kozarufu, which is world peace in Japanese.
Okay. And I just wanted to, this is another subject that I'm going to touch on in the podcast, is the astrology about the moon, the stars, and the locations. I just want to let you guys know today that the moon is going into Capricorn, and that the sun is in 15-degree Aries, 39 minutes. That's something you guys will learn about throughout the podcast, because it's teaching us about the sun, the stars, the planets, you know, their degree points and why things happen, and teaching you the names of the different, you know, planets and stars. So
exactly.
It's something I think everybody should understand and know.
And that's one thing we have to talk about. People don't like to talk about astrology or anything like that because they think it's just about horoscopes.
Yep,
it's a whole deeper aspect.
It is.
We are connected to this entire universe.
Absolutely.
We are the universe.
Stars. We are the sun. We are the stars. We are the quasars. You know?
We are connected to the cosmos.
Absolutely.
The Milky Ways. Anything.
Yes.
There is a universe inside of you.
Okay.
Flat out. And you need to know that.
Yes.
So, I guess we wrapping up our podcast. We wrapping it up. Thank you so much. If you're listening, please continue to support our podcast, Black Gratitude. Remember to be the sunshine in your household.
Yes. And don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. You be alright. We all going through the same shit. Have a wonderful day. Nam yo ho renge kyo.